Hi, have you ever wondered how this works? Or how this is a computer? I'm Zach Grady. I have over 11 years experience with computers, and I'm here to tell you that you should build a computer, and that it can save you a lot of money in doing so. Now, I said I have 11 years of experience with computers. I got my first computer when I was 9, and I've been hooked ever since. I built my first computer when I was 13, just using parts that I bought offline, and piecing them together and learning on my way. Now, we're going to go over why you should build a computer. I'm going to tell you how you get familiar with the parts and the costs and the knowledge that you gain on how they work. And then a little bit more of the advanced knowledge of what can make you a little money in the end. And then how it's just fun. Now, you get familiar with the parts and the costs. You can save a lot of money by building it yourself. If I would have bought mine pre-built, I would have spent at least $1,400. Building mine by myself, I only spent a little bit over $1,000. That's because when companies build them, they charge a manufacturing tax just because they built it. And that can go part by part, just adding up. MSI, a notorious motherboard and graphics card maker, had this to say in an article about pre-built computers versus custom. As for the price difference between custom computers and pre-built computers, the gap is minimal when it comes to regular entry-level computers that are less than $500. However, when considering the components and parts for mid to high-end computers, the price gap for each item may very well be over $30 US. This is especially true for motherboards, graphics cards, and RAM modules. With different brands for different chosen computer components, the price gap can become very apparent. Now, once you learn all of that, and once you build it yourself, and you get to know the parts, you can save a lot of money when it comes to upgrading. You might notice your computer is getting a little slow. All you might have to do is replace one part, and it feels like a brand new experience, instead of just scrapping the computer and buying a whole new one. Reusing parts is a great way to save money and breathe life into new parts. Now, my second point is it gives you knowledge on what makes it work. It teaches you the difference between CPU cores and the clock speed. Do you really need 8 cores? Or do you want less cores but faster clock speed, such as a quad core with 4 GHz of speed, rather than the 8 core with 3.5 GHz? The clock speed means that it can do processes faster, whereas the cores mean it can do more things at once without lagging. It allows you to also save money in what you don't need. Say, instead of buying the big 8 core 4.5 GHz processor, you might only need the quad core 4 GHz processor for almost half the price. With that money, you can put it right back into the computer where you need it, or just put it in your pocket for a nice little savings. Intel, a notorious maker of CPUs, said this in their custom built versus pre-built computers. Building your own PC provides the most thorough customization options. You'll have full control over every piece of your build, from the CPU all the way to the fans and lighting. This means you'll always have the exact hardware that you need, and your build will look the way that you want it to. Buying only the parts you need saves you a lot of money, and it builds the exact computer that you want. With pre-builds, they only have certain kinds and certain setups that you might not need parts that they're putting in. My third point is the advanced knowledge that comes with it. You might get interested and want to learn how to overclock. Overclocking is pushing a part past its designed limits. Now, you can do it safely with relatively low risk and get a lot of performance for your money out of it, and breathe life into new old hardware. Now, that also gets you the potential to make some money by doing all of this, you learn how to service and build and diagnose what's wrong with computers. And you could do that with your families, your friends, or whoever's computer, earning you a little bit of money on the side. Now, for my final point, it's just a lot of fun. I know that me and my brother, we bonded over building his computer, and I think it's a great bonding experience because you get to pass on knowledge that you've learned onto whoever you're building it with. And you can diagnose and chase problems with them, showing them that while not everything is perfect, everything is at least enjoyable. Now, in conclusion, you get much more familiar with the parts, you can save a lot of money, and you can maybe make a little bit by repairing your friends and families, and it's just plain old fun. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope you have a wonderful night.